Hi, my name is FreedomCoder, and in this tutorial we are going to use the sounds we have assigned to sound classes in the last one and create a pawn that will play these sounds, and we will also create an exit function that can be used to set the sound classes respective volume. I have already set up a pawn that extends UT-pawn, and I have already set up the sounds. So once post begin play is called, we play the breathing sound, which is a looped cue, so it will play indefinitely. And I have overridden actually plays footstep sound, which plays the air footstep sound and the vacuum footstep sound at the same time. The idea is that we will control the volume of the SoundCues by accessing the sound class volume, and that way if the player is in the vacuum sound cue will be having the full volume, and if the player is in the air volume, the air sound class will have full volume. The first thing we need is a value to hold the pressure, so we call that value float f pressure. Oops. And set that to 1 as a default. 1 will mean for us full pressure, so full volume for the air sound class. Next we will create a function that will allow us to set the pressure and the sound class volumes. So we write exec function set pressure, and the parameter is a float with the new pressure. Now first thing we do is set the value to the new value. And now for the interesting part, we actually change the sound classes. What you need for that is a player controller. For that we use the function getALocalPlayerController. How you get the player controller is up to you. I just think this function is enough for this tutorial. And on the player controller you call the function set audio group volume. The audio group is it's handled like the sound classes. So the first parameter is the name of the sound class, which will in our case be sound class air, and sound class air should have the volume depending on the pressure. So 0 means the volume is 0%, and 1 means the volume is 100%. Now we copy that and do almost the same for vacuum, but here we invert the volume and pressure, so we write 1 minus, and that's all. Now we compile the scripts and start the game. And now you will hear that you can just, well, hear all the sounds, but we call set pressure to 0, and now we only hear the vacuum footsteps, and now we call set pressure with 1, and now we can only hear the air sounds. So the breathing is no longer audible, and we can do also call half. So we have the breathing at half volume and the footsteps at half volume, and this will be used for our transition between air and vacuum in the Airlock. That's it for this tutorial, and in the next tutorial we will continue with our code and write a custom Kismet sequence to be used with a trigger to actually have the airlock functioning. Thanks for watching.